Okay, Cllr Martin-Moran-Bryant.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, my question is about helping parents choose the right school for their child. We all know how important it is to get children the best education that we can and how much it really affects their life and their prospects. And it's something that as a family we are looking at the moment. So it's a hot topic, but I know it is for many people with the primary school applications being open at the moment until January. And it's a two-part question, really. First of all, what I'd like to know is what guidance is provided annually by the council to help parents choose the best school for their child, particularly going into reception. And in particular, what support is given to parents to understand all of the data that's provided by the Department of Education regarding the different results and the subsets of data that lies beneath it. It's something that we have been looking into a family, and as someone who is a layperson to all this, it is that there's a lot to understand, and also to understand what the Ofsted rankings actually mean, and also to look beyond just the test results to what questions should parents be asking to try and find the right place for their child. And I have heard that there's some issues with open days at some schools. I don't know if you've heard anything about that. People having to register, and that has been a problem, I think, in Wixon's, I've been told. And then for this particular year, I know obviously this was reported in the last meeting, that we haven't had results. We haven't had normal testing for people to know how children are progressing. And COVID-19 has no doubt had a massive impact on education, including the way it's being monitored and how children are being sort of helped through it. And I just wonder what support, again, the council is able to offer parents in finding places for their children, what information is available, and how essentially we are creating parent power to create the right opportunities for children and to sort of and push results. Thank you.
Thank you. Ben, are you happy to answer that question? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. I think there's 2 or 3 different parts of the question. I'll try and answer them individually, and then obviously happy to take any more questions. Firstly, we publish admissions guidance on the council website, which we have to publish. So that's the process for how and when to apply to school. What that doesn't do is go into qualitative information school by school. We are not required to do that. That actually puts the council in a really difficult position if we start saying we would recommend one school above another school. Schools have that individual responsibility. So every school has to publish information about their offer to all children, and particularly about their offer to more vulnerable children on their website. And there are very specific criteria that the Department for Education lay down that all schools have to publish on their own website. What I would immediately say there is, if any parent is unsure or is unhappy, then we do have a wide variety of people who will talk them through it, whether that be the procedural application process or some of the absolute myriad of data that's out there, or maybe not for the last couple of years. I completely agree with the point. I think now is a very complex time to be able to look at the quality of education because there aren't those benchmarks. And they're not, then we haven't got 2 years worth of data. So the other thing I would say in a general advice is what all of the officers within children's services would say, what I would say to any prospective parent is, the only person that knows your child the way that you do is you. So what I would do, and I have urged people to do this, and I know my officers will as well, is go and speak to the head teacher, go and speak to the teachers, go and speak to other parents, speak to other children that are accessing a school. The school that is the best fit for your family might not be for the next family, and vice versa. So it really is a personal preference, and I really do strongly believe that, and I believe that as a parent myself as well when I've looked around schools. Get a feel for the school. And then, if there are more questions, there are people within the council, our family information service is available. People can contact council officers and we'll talk people through either the process or what some of the data might mean and what some of the Ofsted information might mean. And then the last bit was around open days. There has been some confusing advice around open days, I believe, from the Department for Education. We have issued advice locally under the direction of the Director of Public Health, obviously in consultation with colleagues in children's services as well, about the appropriateness of open days And we've certainly been really concerned about the idea, both at primary and at secondary, to say, let's bring lots of groups of children together from lots and lots of different areas and put them all together. So our advice has been to err on the side of caution and to do things online where possible, or to have very structured. I know some of our secondary schools have had very structured evenings that have been a cohort from X school on one day and a cohort from the other school on the next day. That's caused some confusion. I think that was the right thing to do, though. I think on the balance of risk and providing all that information, I think that was the right way to go. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Am I able to follow up with sort of a statement at all?
Yes, sure.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That is helpful. I think that one of the issues is some parents are just much more able to kind of formulate their own questions, and sometimes actually, I completely agree, it's about the right school for your child. Results actually aren't everything. They're important, but they're not everything. But sometimes I think it's helpful to just have a sort of a list of kind of potential questions that you might want to consider, and that's not about saying that the Borough Council recommends one school or another. It's just about giving a parent a bit extra guidance, so every parent isn't reinventing the wheel, essentially. That's what I think it would be very, very, very helpful. Thank you.